Tragedy in rock isn't always loud or sudden. Sometimes it unfolds slowly, hidden behind hit singles, magazine covers, and sold-out tours. 15 Most Tragic Bands of the 1970s isn't about who died first or burned brightest. It's about groups whose stories collapsed under pressure. Money, control, ego, exploitation, or silence.
Jerry Bob! Hello, world! I'm your wild girl!
These bands had momentum, chemistry, and proof they mattered. Yet something fundamental went wrong. And when you trace their histories now, the tragedy isn't just what they lost. It's how close they were to lasting forever.
About his suicide, I'd kick it in the head when he was 25.
Number 15. Mott the Hoople.
And Freddy's got spots from ripping up the stars.
Mott the Hoople feel tragic because they survived, just barely. By 1972, they were exhausted, broke, and ready to split, playing to shrinking crowds despite critical respect.
Oh man, I need TV when I got T-Ray.
Salvation came from David Bowie, who handed them all the young dudes and briefly turned them into glam icons. The song went top 10 in the UK and reset their public image overnight.
At home with his Beatles and his Stones, we never got it off on that revolution stone.
But the rescue also locked them into expectations they never fully embraced. Fame arrived late and fast, magnifying internal strain. Frontman Ian Hunter left in 1974. Effectively ending the band's creative core. Mott didn't fail due to lack of talent. They failed because their miracle arrived too late and asked them to become something else to survive. Being saved can sometimes cost you yourself.
Remember finding out about you.
Number 14. Badfinger.
Day after day.
Badfinger's tragedy is systemic, not musical. Signed to Apple Records, they were positioned as heirs to the Beatles, with Paul McCartney gifting them Come and Get It.
I give my love to you.
Hits followed quickly on both sides of the Atlantic, including No Matter What and Baby Blue. But behind the scenes, catastrophic management drained their finances, while success kept accelerating.
Every day I feel the tears that you weep.
Royalties vanished, lawsuits piled up. By 1974, guitarist Pete Ham died by suicide, leaving a note blaming the industry figures who trapped him. Years later, bassist Tom Evans followed.
Bring it home, baby, make it soon.
Their songs continue to earn millions, often without context. Badfinger weren't undone by drugs or ego. They were dismantled by exploitation. Their music proved innocence could still be destroyed in rock.
She kissed me and said, baby, please.
Number 13. The Raspberries.
Please go away.
The Raspberries sound like joy, but their story is quiet heartbreak. They helped invent power pop, bright melodies, sharp hooks, emotional urgency, long before the genre had a market. Go All the Way was a massive hit in 1972. Yet the band immediately fractured over creative control and image. Songwriter Eric Carmen wanted polish and pop clarity. Others wanted grit and experimentation. Record label pressure only widened the divide. Despite multiple charting singles, resentment outweighed momentum. They broke up by 1975, just as their influence began seeping into future bands like Cheap Trick and The Knack. The tragedy isn't obscurity, it's timing. The Raspberries were early, right, and gone before the world knew what to call them. Sometimes, history needs distance to recognize what it lost.
Pulling a fool down the street, I'm the girl next door.
Number 12. the Runaways.
Jerry Bob! Hello, world, I'm your wild girl!
The Runaways were marketed as rebellion, but managed like property. As teenagers, they were pushed into fame with Cherry Bomb, becoming symbols of female rock defiance almost overnight. Yet their success came with exploitation.
Get down, ladies, you got nothing to lose!
Control over image, touring schedules, and finances rested largely with manager Kim Fowley. Internal divisions grew as Joan Jett and Lita Ford pulled in different creative directions. While others felt increasingly sidelined. Substance abuse and exhaustion followed fast. By 1978, the band collapsed, leaving behind influence far greater than their lifespan. Their tragedy isn't that they broke up young.
Give you something to live for. Have you and grab you to your...
It's that they were never protected while being sold as dangerous. If these stories resonate with you, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It helps keep these overlooked chapters of rock history alive. Number 11. Budgie. Budgie's tragedy lies in being too influential without reward. Formed in Wales, they blended heavy riffs with melodic ambition years before metal had a clear mainstream lane. Songs like Breadfan and Crash Course in Brain Surgery later became famous through Metallica covers, not original recognition, while peers exploded commercially. Budgie remained trapped between scenes. Too heavy for radio, too quirky for pure metal audiences. Lineup instability and limited label support kept them circling cult status. Their legacy grew louder after the fact, carried by bands who openly cited them as blueprints. Budgie didn't disappear. They were overshadowed in real time. Some bands don't lose history. They're postponed by it.
Watch the flowers go to bed. Ask the man inside
Number 10. The Sensational Alex Harvey Band.
on you. Can I put my hands on you?
The Sensational Alex Harvey Band always felt like outsiders crashing someone else's party. Their shows were theatrical, unsettling, and confrontational, part vaudeville, part menace. While punk loomed and hard rock streamlined,
Faith and hope and charity is simple.
SAHB leaned into danger and character, led by Harvey's wounded, sneering presence. The faith healer became a cult staple, yet mainstream success never followed.
You understand? Only got to take his hand.
Their refusal to soften made them thrilling, but commercially risky. When Alex Harvey died suddenly in 1982, the band's identity vanished with him.
Ask the man inside your head.
There was no clean continuation, no revival arc. Their tragedy is that they were built entirely around a singular voice and vision. When the center disappears, the orbit collapses. Number 9. The Flying Burrito Brothers. The Flying Burrito Brothers represent a dream that kept slipping away. Formed by Graham Parsons after leaving the Byrds, they helped invent country rock before anyone knew it mattered. Their debut album flopped commercially despite massive influence, confusing both rock and country audiences. Parsons' addictions and erratic behavior led to his firing, fracturing the band's heart early on. Subsequent lineups carried the name, but never the original spirit. Graham Parsons' death in 1973 froze the myth in place, unfinished, unresolved.
You can't see
Their songs became sacred texts for future artists, but the band itself never stabilized long enough to benefit. Some legacies are written by those who arrive too late to save them. Number 8. Joy Division. Joy Division's tragedy is inseparable from their sound. Emerging from post-punk's bleak landscapes, they turned isolation and anxiety into something starkly beautiful. As their reputation spread, singer Ian Curtis was unraveling, battling epilepsy, depression, and the weight of sudden expectation. On the eve of their first American tour, Curtis died by suicide in 1980. The band chose not to continue under the same name, honoring a pact they'd made early on.
Stand to the radio.
Their music grew in stature after the end, not before it. Joy Division didn't fade. They stopped, abruptly and permanently. Some bands don't break up. They end, like a sentence cut short. Number 7. Gentle Giant. Gentle Giant's tragedy is intellectual isolation. In the early 1970s, they were among the most technically gifted bands in rock, blending medieval counterpoint, jazz harmony, and jagged rock structures with astonishing precision. Musicians admired them deeply, but mainstream audiences rarely followed. As punk surged and progressive rock became shorthand for excess, Gentle Giant suddenly sounded like a relic before their time was finished. Pressure to simplify crept in, dulling the very complexity that defined them. By 1980, they disbanded quietly, not from scandal or collapse, but exhaustion and misalignment. Their influence endured among musicians long after the spotlight moved on. They weren't misunderstood. They were simply asking more than the moment could give. Number 6. The Jam. The Jam's tragedy is choice, not collapse. By the late 1970s, they were one of Britain's most successful bands. Channeling punk energy through sharp songwriting and mod revival style. Singles topped charts, albums sold fast, and their audience kept growing. But Paul Weller felt boxed in by expectation. Unwilling to repeat himself just to maintain momentum, in 1982, at the height of their power, he ended the band unilaterally. Fans were stunned, and the remaining members were left without closure. The Jam didn't burn out or fade away. They were deliberately dismantled. Sometimes the hardest ending is the one made with a clear mind. Number 5. The Modern Lovers. The Modern Lovers feel tragic because they captured lightning and then refused to bottle it. Their early sound, nervous, minimalist, obsessed with modern life, was years ahead of punk. Songs like Roadrunner sounded like the future arriving early, but Jonathan Richman grew uncomfortable with rock's aggression and mythology just as a tension began building. He wanted innocence where the scene demanded edge. The band fractured before their debut album even saw release, leaving recordings that felt like artifacts from an alternate timeline. Others carried the torch they dropped.
Gonna drive to the stop and shop with the radio.
The tragedy isn't what they lost, it's what they consciously rejected. Sometimes walking away preserves purity, but it also freezes momentum forever.
Too high, not enough and you're gonna die.
Number 4. Sweet.
Love is like oxygen.
Sweet were victims of their own image. Behind the glitter, stomps, and sing-alongs was a band far heavier and more self-directed than the public realized.
Too high, not enough and you're gonna die.
Early hits were tightly controlled by producers, leaving them branded as disposable pop. When they finally wrested creative control and released harder material like Love is Like Oxygen, perception lagged behind reality. Internal tensions and relentless touring followed, and by the late 70s, the band splintered. Sweet didn't disappear due to irrelevance.
That you don't want me around. I can't shake off my
They were misread for too long. Their tragedy is being remembered for the costume instead of the craft. Image fades faster than sound, but it can still bury it.
To hold you again.
Number 3. The Guess Who.
These eyes.
The Guess Who didn't collapse suddenly. They wore themselves thin. By the early 1970s, they were one of North America's biggest bands, delivering era-defining hits like American Woman and These Eyes.
You bring my world to an end.
Success came fast, but unity didn't last. Guitarist Randy Bachman left at their commercial peak, frustrated by touring demands and creative direction. What followed was a slow erosion.
I will never be free, no, no, no.
Constant lineup changes, shifting identities, and diminishing returns while the name stayed famous. The band kept moving, but the core was gone.
Never gonna see another one like I have with you.
Their tragedy isn't obscurity or scandal. It's dilution. Sometimes a band survives long enough to outlive the version of itself that mattered. Number 2. Montrose. Montrose's tragedy is unrealized dominance. Their 1973 debut helped define American hard rock, lean, aggressive, and powerful, introducing Sammy Hagar as a force and setting a blueprint others would follow. Success came quickly, but so did fracture. Ronnie Montrose's rigid perfectionism clashed with Hagar's rising confidence, turning momentum into tension. By the second album, the chemistry that made them dangerous was already dissolving. Hagar left, and with him went the band's future relevance. Montrose continued in name, but the spark never returned. Their influence lived on, louder than their career did. Some bands don't fall apart. They stall just before history catches up. Number 1. Derek and the Dominoes. Derek and the Dominoes feel tragic because they were never meant to survive success. Formed as Eric Clapton tried to escape superstardom, the band instead captured his most exposed emotional state on record. Layla and other assorted love songs wasn't crafted for longevity. It was a document of obsession, addiction, and emotional collapse unfolding in real time. Substance abuse quickly eroded trust and focus, while Duane Allman's sudden death eliminated any path forward. The band dissolved within a year, leaving no chance for reinvention or recovery.
tried to give you consolation.
What remains is a single, towering statement. Some bands exist only long enough to tell the truth once, and then disappear. Looking back, these bands didn't lack skill, vision, or impact. What they lacked was protection. From the industry, from timing, from themselves. The 1970s celebrated excess, but it rarely prepared artists for the consequences. These groups remind us that great music often comes from fragile conditions, and survival isn't guaranteed just because the songs endure. Which of these bands hits you hardest now? If you enjoy these deep dives into rock's hidden stories, consider subscribing and staying with Retro Rewind for more.
When you're on the street, you got to be able to pick out the easy meal.